Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're doing great. If you're new here, I would request you to subscribe to the channel and share this video in your network so that other people can also learn what is NLP and you can get a basic introduction to NLP. Okay, so with that being said, let's get started. All right. So, what is natural language processing? What is NLP? NLP is one of the most fastest growing domain in artificial intelligence. It's the discipline which powers the most famous applications like ChatGPT, DeepSeek, and so many other applications out there. It has been one of the most fastest growing AI discipline or domain. So it's really worth understanding what is NLP. So, if you were to formally define what is NLP, NLP is the discipline of building machines that can manipulate human language in the way it is written, spoken, and organized. What does that mean? It means that NLP is a discipline that is used to first understand. NLP is a domain which first understands what is human language, okay, human understandable language. For example, the language which you are talking in English, it first understands language and then it generates the language in a way in which we spoke, we write, and we organize. So that's what NLP is. It is a domain used to generate human-like output. For example, if you ask any human uh, about something, human would give you the answer in a different format. So we are just trying to mimic that using machines and a discipline called NLP, natural language processing. NLP is divided into two parts. First one is natural language understanding, NLU, which focuses on meaning and understanding what is intended in the text given. Okay, so first part is used to understand the semantic or the meaning of the text, and the second part we have natural language generator, which is used for generating text, human like text. So it generates content like we human could understand and we human could know or write, speak, whatever. So that are the two main parts of natural language processing. NLP used to be a different theoretical framework in computer science, like it used to be named as computational linguistics, has evolved from theoretical framework to an engineering discipline, which is uh, which is seeking to build technology for useful tasks like generating some human-like content or doing something which human used to do using our languages or natural languages. Why does NLP matter? Why we need to learn? Why does it matter? It matters because it is one of the most used, one of the most famous, and one of the most well researched and most researched domain in artificial intelligence. Okay, for example, in conversational agents like Alexa, Siri, and ChatGPT 3 or DeepSeek are all applications of NLP, which uses a natural language processing to understand queries, to understand questions which we give them, and generate responses, human-like responses. And we have also search engine. For example, if you go to Google and you start searching something, the Google give you some suggestion word or autocomplete words, which is again an application of NLP. Now we also have it's also being used in content moderation in social networks like Facebook, where it used to detect hate speech or it used to detect some kind of threats or something like that. So it's extensively used in Facebook as well. Now in healthcare, it's also being used to interpret different electronic healthcare records for or for patients. If someone don't really understand what the healthcare records means, you can just uh, give healthcare record to any model, and it would give you an human understandable and in an easy way what does that record means. And it's also being used in different educational platforms and for generating text, for generating video, and for generating so many other things. So it's being extensively used in today's world. Therefore it matters a lot. It matters a lot. So it has become crucial to understand what is NLP and how does it work. Now there are some key applications of NLP which we will learn in upcoming lectures. NLP is used in sentiment analysis. For example, someone give a product review. Like, okay, customers are giving product review, whether it's positive, negative, or neutral. So to understand that, it is being used so that without just going through all the text, it could be understood that whether the product has good review or bad reviews. And it's also being used in chatbots and text generation like DeepSeek, ChatGPT, and Grok, and so many. There are so many other applications out there. It create human-like text for conversations, tweets, blogs, and even computer code. Like Anthropic, an example of one of the best applications for creating computer codes, which is being used in Cursor AI, if you have idea about that. So it's also being used in machine translation. For example, if you search Google Translate in Google, you would get the idea that how does Google translates all the any language from one language to another language. For example, you can translate from English to Arabic, from Arabic to English, whatever. So that's again an application of NLP. It's also used for text summarization. It summarizes all the text into some relevant information. That's again an example of NLP application. It's also used in many other applications like toxicity classification, name entity recognition, spam detection, grammatical error correction. For example, like Grammarly use grammatical error correction extensively. Topic modeling. Again, these are some of the applications of NLP. There are lots of other applications which you can study in detail. So yeah, with that being said, let's move forward. Now, how does NLP work? That's the main question which we need to ask ourselves. How does NLP work? Okay, so there are different steps which we go through in order to do all these fascinating stuffs. Okay, first one is data pre-processing. Then the process data is being converted into vectors, uh, and after vectorization, we give the vectors to a model or to an algorithm, and then they give us final output, and then loss function is calculated, and the process is repeated. So that's how it works essentially. So yeah, these are some of the methods. I won't go into detail of what is tokenization, what is stemming, what is stop word and removal, what is sentence segmentation. I'll just give you an overview that what are these things. First, tokenization means splitting text into individual words, word fragments, and then represent them using numerical tokens and use them after that. So that's what tokenization means. Then we have stemming and lemmatization, uh, which is a technique of converting words to the base forms using heuristic rules or morphological analysis like tune, and tune could be converted into tune, TUN. Or we can also use change universities, or universe into just universe. Okay, so these sort of things. Or you could use eaten into just eat. So that's what stemming and lemmatization means. There are sort of little difference between stemming and lemmatization. We won't discuss all these things here because it will become too long. Okay, and would be not really easy to cover all those topics in just one lecture. So we will discuss these in later parts. For now, I'm just giving you a brief overview or just naming of all this how these things. Next, we have stop word removal, in which we just remove the unnecessary words like which don't really add any meaning to the text. Therefore, we just remove all them and use the remaining text. Then we have sentence segmentation. We just change the whole text into different sentence units, which are linguistically meaningful, and then handle them accordingly. Right. So next we have different techniques which are being used in NLP, both traditional and deep learning techniques. In traditional techniques, we have logistic regression, which is efficient for text classification like sentiment analysis, spam detection, toxicity classification, and then we have naive which is also is a very simple and effective probability based classifier. Then we have decision tree, and we have LDA, and we have MMM, which are again example of traditional. We won't go into detail of all these things. um, we will learn all these in upcoming lectures one by one, okay? And then we have deep learning techniques like CNN, RNN, recurrent neural network, or sequence to sequence, which is again a very powerful encoding decoding architecture. We'll learn about these as well. Then we have transformers. We'll learn about these as well. Transformers are what power the ChatGPT 3, which have transformers. It's again a very powerful and state of the art text processing technique. We'll learn about that. Nowadays, deep learning techniques are widely used because they have introduced transformative capabilities like with CNN and RNN. So therefore, they are being extensively used. We learn about all these in upcoming lectures. Okay. Then we have some important libraries and models, like the models we have ChatGPT, which is very famous and one of the most widely used, I think, model. We have Google Bart, which is again a very famous and is used extensively. We have Lambda, we have MOE, and if you talk about Python libraries, where we have Natural Language Toolkit, which is also widely used. We have Spassy, we have Hugging Face, and these are all machine learning models, while the last one, TensorFlow and PyTorch, are deep learning frameworks for NLP. Okay, so these are some of the notable models and Python libraries which are being used in NLP, and we will also use them in our practical works as well. All right, there are some challenges and future of NLP. There are some challenges. The first one, bias and ethics. Sometimes different models amplify biases found in training data. Okay, for example, let me just give you an example. Let's say if there was something bad about some culture. Okay, if there is something bad about some culture written in your data, it would be amplified due to the model. That's one of the challenges in AI or NLP. Accessibility again is a challenge because computational requirements for models and for doing all these things is very expensive. So it isn't affordable by many researchers or small companies. Only large companies, corporations could only afford this. Then we have environmental impact, as all these large language models and the data are needs extensive amount of energy, which which is raising sustainability concerns, and that's also a challenge. Then it's also a kind of black box problem because deep learning models can't explain their outputs. So that's again a problem. Despite all these, NLP is growing very fast, and the domain is being fastest growing and most researched in this era. So, for those interested in this field, numerous resources exist to build foundational skills and specialize in this exciting discipline. So yeah, that's all for this video. Hope you got the idea or just overview of what is NLP and what are different techniques, what are different models and libraries, and what are different challenges in NLP. Finally, I would give a special acknowledgement to the content which are being adapted from deep learning AI, because I have prepared these slides from deep learning AI resources. It's a blog out there in you can check it out at www.deeplearningai resources natural language processing. So you could check this out, and special thanks to deep learning AI for this. So that's all. See you in the next one. Till then, keep learning and keep improving. Thank you.